When their mother died, Sarah's brother produced a will that gave him the house, the savings, the land, everything. Sarah got a single sentence: "To my daughter, my love." It was their mother's handwriting. It was their mother's signature. It was notarized. It was also a forgery. And the proof was sitting in a fireproof cabinet in a small-town notary's office where it had been waiting for 4 years. Stay with me, because the moment that cabinet opens is one of the most satisfying things I've ever told on this channel. Sarah and Greg grew up on 40 acres their grandfather had cleared by hand. Their mother, Ruth, ran the place alone after their father passed, a woman who paid every bill the day it arrived and kept receipts from the 1980s, just in case. Sarah stayed close, drove out every Sunday, handled the doctor's visits when Ruth's heart got weak. Greg moved to the city, called on birthdays, and came home exactly twice in 10 years, both times to ask for money. That last year, something changed. Greg started visiting. A lot. Always alone, always when Sarah worked. He'd help with paperwork. He'd organize Mom's documents. Ruth, 83 and tired, was just glad to see her son. Sarah noticed and hated herself for being suspicious. When Ruth passed that winter, Sarah's grief came with a sick feeling she couldn't name yet. The feeling got a name at the lawyer's office. Greg presented a will dated 8 months earlier, typed, witnessed by 2 names nobody knew, notarized in the city. Everything to Greg as primary caretaker. For Sarah, 1 line of affection and nothing else. The lawyer was sympathetic but blunt. A notarized will is presumed valid. Contesting one is expensive, slow, and usually fails. Greg hugged her on the way out. He actually hugged her and whispered, "Mom knew who was really there for her." Most people break right there. Sarah went home and did what her mother had taught her instead. She looked for the paperwork, because here's what she knew about Ruth, the woman who kept receipts from the 1980s. Ruth didn't do anything important without her own notary, Mr. Albers, 2 streets from the church, who'd notarized every document in that family for 30 years. The tractor sale, the land easement, Dad's will. If Ruth had ever truly changed her will, Albers would have done it. And if she hadn't, the cabinet 2 streets from the church didn't know it yet, but its moment was coming. Sarah didn't accuse Greg. She didn't post about it. She hired a probate attorney with her savings and gave him 2 leads. Lead 1, Mr. Albers. In their state, notaries are required to keep a journal of every notarization. Date, document, signer, Idaho shown, thumbprint for wills. Lead 2, the city notary on Greg's will. Her attorney requested both journals through the court. Mr. Albers did better than a journal entry. 4 years earlier, Ruth had executed a will in his office and asked him to keep a certified copy in his cabinet because my son borrows things and forgets to return them. Her words, recorded in his journal, in his handwriting. That will split everything 50-50, except the land, which went to Sarah alone, because she never asked what it was worth. And the city notary. The journal showed Greg's will was notarized on a date Ruth's medical records placed her in cardiac care, 40 miles away, unable to travel. The signer's ID logged in the journal wasn't Ruth's driver's license. It was a state ID issued 3 weeks earlier. In court, the judge laid the 2 signatures side by side and asked Greg's attorney a single question. Would you like to explain how your client's mother signed this document in person? while hospital records show her connected to a heart monitor in another county. Greg's attorney requested a recess. He never came back from it. The forged will collapsed. The woman who'd posed as Ruth, a friend of Greg's girlfriend, took a plea deal and testified. Greg was convicted of forgery and attempted inheritance fraud. In their state, that triggered the Slayer-adjacent forfeiture rules. He didn't just lose the forged inheritance, he forfeited his legitimate half too. Everything went to Sarah. The 40 acres her grandfather cleared stayed in the hands of the one who never asked what they were worth. Sarah still drives out every Sunday. Mr. Albers, 81 now, got a pie every month until he retired. The cabinet, she says, is the only safe her family ever needed. 1. Forgers can fake a signature, they can't fake the paper trail around it. Journals, medical records, Idaho logs. The truth has witnesses the lie never thinks of. 2. The careful people in your life are protecting you years in advance. Ruth's just-in-case beat Greg's entire plan from beyond the grave. 3. Greed always overreaches. If Greg had forged a 60-40 split, no, one might have looked twice. He took everything and lost everything, including what was honestly his. Subscribe. Every story here ends with a receipt. Next, a contractor takes deposits from 14 families and vanishes. Family number 15 pays him too, but family number 15 is a retired detective who's been hunting him for a year, and that deposit was the bait. See you Saturday.